was wearing this outfit once, and there was like a skirt part of it, like I had on leggings underneath it, and there was a skirt part of it. And I was like moving so fast, like doing everything with the bass and, you know, going crazy on stage that the skirt part started like to slide down. And of course, I had on leggings, so it wasn't a big deal that it was sliding down, but my sister, she sings background for me. She was just kind of like looking at me. She's like going crazy, like, your skirt. And I just smile at her and I'm just like wiggling and I'm just like, I just like let it just fall. I let it fall and I take it and I pick it up and I just throw it in the audience. And I was like, oh my God, like my skirt is falling down. But, you know, I had on leggings, so it was cool. But I've had a lot of crazy things happen to me. I'd walk on stage, I'd have a wireless pack. And for some reason, I forget to turn it on. Walk on stage and I'm like playing, like doing the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm not even on. So I turn it on. I'm just like, there we go. And that's happened to me so many different times, which is why there's a few basses that I've played that have a mute switch. I will not play a bass that has a mute switch ever because I always forget to unmute it. So those are pretty strange things that have happened to me, I guess.
My first show with Archspire, we were playing the Modified Ghost Fest in Vancouver, and I had never played with an in-ear rig before, and so we got everything set up, and I had my dark glass pedals, no amp, just going DI, and we couldn't figure out how to get the bass into the split so that I was getting bass to front of house or bass to my in-ears. So it took 15 minutes of us messing around with that and pushing the whole show super late, before we decided to just run with just bass to front of house, and I had to play completely deaf, basically. I had backing tracks, but no bass sound. So that was my first time playing live with the band and playing live with bass. It was really stressful.
Me playing with David Sanborn in 1985 in the summer at the Greek Theater in Berkeley, California, I think it was. So we used to open with that tune, Chicago Song. You know, Marcus, totally great song. I got my jazz bass, I'm thumping, you know. 64 jazz in those days. And I had a little pedal board, I hit the thing on, nothing. So they're going, and I'm like on the floor trying to get the thing to work. Finally, we got it going. Man, that's panic. You know, cats running from the side of the stage trying to help you figure it out. And I don't even remember what it was. I just remember there was probably, when you really like step back from it, it was probably like 45 seconds of sheer hell that felt like a year. I was like, Particularly, you know, those kind of things where you start off big and it's a big fat groove and nothing, no bass. I was with the Crusaders for a brief minute, and we played a big gig at the Hollywood Bowl. And this was a crazy thing that happened that was sort of part tragic and part elation for me, because Larry Graham wound up playing my bass on the first tune. So we're playing and the guest star is Larry Graham. And he had one of those wireless things and then the microphone coming out of the bass, and he had an acoustic 360 amp on either side of the stage, and he came out dancing, and he was like, "Party!" and he was killing it, right? Funky, unbelievable. And then everything, the wireless crashed, and there was no sound, and everything went down, the mic, everything. So he came running back to me and said, "Let me have your bass." And I handed him the bass, and he went on and he was killing. You know, so he played my little jazz bass at the time that I had. It was great. But it was so out, you know, because he came on so strong, and then it just stopped. You know, and everybody was playing. We're like, "Oh no." And then he came out, I just, you know, tossed him my bass, and he went on like nothing happened. He's one of the greatest.
Yeah, okay, I was at the 55 bar in New York, probably 2015, yeah. I think. 2014, I can't remember. Playing at the 55 bar, playing through a Mark bass cabinet, and also, you know, I had my basically I had a power strip and it was plugged into the wall. But during the gig, so either like, I had the electro-harmonics frequency analyzer, so I was like kind of banging on that a lot, and the cabinet couldn't handle it. So it's just like fluffing out. And then once in a while, the whole thing would get unplugged from the wall. So I would be playing and everything would just shut off. And this is while Bowie's in the audience. And I was just thinking, he's not gonna want me to be on the, because it was just literally a fucking disaster. Like just for me. And just like, but he somehow went for it.